Hey guys, what's going on? This is Hunter Starcraft, and today I'm bringing you another 1 vs 1, a pro-Korean matchup. It seems like you guys enjoyed my last cast starring Liquid.HuK. He went up against Keen.MvP in a very exciting matchup, so I wanted to do another match from Team Liquid.HuK. He is the blue Protoss player spawning at the 12 o'clock position of Shattered Temple. HuK is a Canadian player living in Korea, living in the OGS house. Of course, the Old Generations clan is sort of partnered with Team Liquid, and as such, HuK gets the benefits of living in the OGS house and practicing with some of the best players in the world. And oh man, HuK has just improved so much. As I mentioned in my last cast, HuK is the only foreigner in Code S right now. A pretty tremendous feat, you know, in a 32-man tournament. 31 Koreans, 1 Canadian. Yes, I'm proud as a fellow Canadian. It's pretty cool. And of course, HuK's opponent, got to introduce him as well. At the 9 o'clock position, the red Terran player from the Team MVP, Keen. Commander Keen? Maybe? Probably not. But either way, he is going to be playing Terran. Of course, I'm not actually very familiar with Keen, I'm not going to lie. He is a member of the MVP clan, and they're a new clan on the Korean scene. There's some very well-known Korean clans like OGS or Prime who have been around since the beta, and then some all-star Korean clans like Startail or Incredible Miracle. But MVP has really just been around for, well, I'm not actually sure how long they've been around. They've been popular and gaining sort of notoriety only in the past like couple months. They had the privilege to compete in the most recent team league in the GSL, but other than that, you know, they haven't really made a huge mark on the Korean pro gaming scene. So I'm excited to see this match, and I'm wondering what Keen is actually going to have in store for us. He's going up against a top Terran, a top Protoss, what I meant to say. This is going to be a TVP, and yeah, let's jump right into the commentary. Both players opening pretty standard so far. I mean, the orbital command is nearly complete. It'll be at this point that Keen is going to, you know, make decisions about his build. And as I'm saying that, I'm a little bit taken aback just because there's no gas. We can see Keen is putting down 2 more barracks. So this is just such a mineral heavy opening. I would certainly expect Keen to be taking his natural expansion soon. And I'm wondering when in fact he actually is going to pick up a refinery. We're not going to see any tech for at least the next couple minutes from Keen. 2 Marines out already, forcing out the probe. This probe war-torn at only 4 hit points left. This SCV is just escaping in the nick of time, barely going to escape the Stalker fire. This Stalker, though, heading out. Of course, HuK very well aware that his opponent is very close by foot, and as such queuing up some attack move commands, but with 4 Marines at the top of the ramp, that Stalker's going to be taking a lot of fire. He's got to be careful. Of course, Stalkers easily can outrange and outrun Marines, so you can kite them, but you got to stay on top of your micro. You know, it's a lot of APM to sacrifice to try to get some Marine kills, and geez, so many Marines getting pumped out here off of 3 barracks, and still no refinery at this point. Pull up the production tab for you. We can follow the build orders just a little bit easier as Warpgate research now nearly complete. More Stalkers on the way, and 2 Stalkers at the front door. Not going to do very much. This high ground advantage, it's just all these Marines need to completely deflect 2 measly Stalkers, and an SCV gets taken out in this probe. Disciple here with 1 kill. Not bad for a probe, you know, even with gold minerals in his hand, gets the job done. As these Stalkers now, as I was mentioning before, just doing a little bit of kiting action, getting lots of shots in, and a lot of these Marines now getting in the deep red and orange. Not many kills, but if Keen isn't careful, he's going to lose a lot of Marines in a hurry. So many of them are just so low on hit points. SCV gets taken out. Nice force field, trap in 3 Marines on the ramp and eliminating them in a hurry. This probe has got to be careful, just nearly in sight range of the Marines, but it looks like he's going to be lucky enough to escape with his life, at least for the meantime. And HuK with 400 minerals plus saved up, he is going to put down a Nexus, and the command center now nearly complete, so expansion timings very close, slightly favoring the Terran player, as Keen is now putting down a couple of bunkers as well, and these Marines just pushing back the Stalkers. And then I'm sure they're going to fall back to their bunkers as Keen is going to be securing a sick economy in the next couple of minutes. Keeping an eye on the production tab, we see more gateways going up. We have a 3-gate robo build from our Protoss player HuK. It's a very safe opening. He put the robo build, the robotics facility down after his first warp gate, and it's very good to get your observer out just as fast as possible. If the Terran player were going for, you know, some kind of tech-heavy play, it's good to have that observer out. But not the case, as these Marines were able to take out the pylon and now doing some damage to the Stalkers. But it looks like all these Marines are going to get taken out, and these Stalkers are not going to take as much damage. HuK microing the weakened Stalker back and just taking shield damage for the other two. So I don't even know if that was really worth taking out the proxy pylon. Keen lost a lot of Marines there, but then again, he's going to have 2 orbitals pumping down mules. He's got a 4th barracks going down now and getting a reactor on one of his barracks, and he's got 2 tech labs as well. These tech labs producing combat shields and stim packs. Colossus on the way. Of course, the robotics bay just finished warping in, and these Stalkers still just doing whatever damage they can. Taking a look at HuK's vision, he doesn't have... Oh, he does have an observer moving into position. He's going to spot the Marauder on the high ground, and the Marauder gets focused down, 2-shotted by 5 Stalkers. These bunkers are going to make it just about impenetrable at the front choke point here. And yeah, HuK is just going to have to find another way in. I'm wondering where these players are going to decide to take their 3rd base. 2 more assimilators on the way. Given these close spawn locations, it makes it a little precarious when picking a 3rd base. Of course, this gold would be nearly impossible to defend, and this expansion in the top left, now no longer an island expansion, now defended by these destructible rocks. Of course, the Shattered Temple version updated and seemingly more balanced than its Lost Temple predecessor. Thermal Lance on the way, and more Colossi on the way out as well. 3 warp gates, still no more production facilities at this point in the game. I'm sure that as HuK, you know, HuK's economy really starts to kick in, he's going to put down more production facilities. I'm not sure what exactly though at this point. And this Colossus taking lots of shield damage, no shields left. He doesn't want to take too much damage to the hull. The Thermal Lance upgrade now just completing right now. So the 9 range on these Colossus is just going to be so important. And how clutch is that Thermal Lance upgrade? It completed at the exact time that Keen chose to hit with his Marine Marauder ball. And HuK is able to deflect this attack. And yeah, Keen's going to have to just come up with something else. Still no tech at all from Keen.MvP. He just finally finished a factory, and at the 11.5 minute mark, finally getting a starport, putting a reactor on the factory as well. 2 Marauders in each of the barracks. HuK has an observer. He hasn't spotted the factory and starport just yet, but I mean, it's pretty understandable. I'm sure HuK is relatively aware that there are going to be medevacs on the way just because of the bio-heavy play. And as this reactor finishes, the starport finishes, double liftoff, and we're going to be pumping out double medevacs. But the medevacs aren't going to be here in time to help nurse the wounds of the infantry ball. Ooh, is it? Yeah, the bunker is going to go down. Or is it? These 4 SCVs barely able to repair it fast enough, but a couple of nice blasts from the Colossus take out some SCVs, and the bunker goes down as well. So Keen here just trying to delay as long as possible. Excuse me, he's not getting medevacs. He is going with Vikings, and definitely a wise decision versus these long-range Colossi. This observer in position can do some nice spotting. HuK is going to want to push in exactly when he wants. I'm wondering what time he's going to pick. Ooh, nice stim and nice timing with the force fields as well, preventing lots of these Marines Marauders from getting any shots in. They're all trapped behind the force fields, and these long-range Colossi doing a ton of damage, and using the Stalkers as well to focus down the Vikings, of course increasing the livelihood of the Stalkers, but finally Marine Marauders able to bust out and take out those Colossi. That was huge. Let's take a look at the units killed. Still heavily favoring HuK. Let's take a look at the unit's loss tab as well. When you compare resources, HuK, wow, actually, although HuK, that we can see on the graph here, HuK has killed a ton more units, but they're cheap units, you know, they're Marines and Marauders, and I mean, those just don't at all compare on the resource tab compared to Colossus. Colossus are 300 minerals, 200 gas, far more expensive than the units Keen has been producing, and as such, on the units loss tab, we can see that Keen is actually in the lead by 1,000 resources. Sorry, I was thinking units killed. He's behind by 1,000 resources. Just mix that up slightly. Not the end of the world. Very close regardless. On the army supply, there's only a differential of about 15. And let's take a look at the income tab as well. This is what's really telling the story. Forget the other tabs. HuK is up by 24 workers, and he's picking up a third base now as well. Getting his upgrade game going, as he's got an additional 3 warp gates, and he's getting +1 from his forge. Where is his forge? Here it is, next to the Twilight Council, getting his armor upgrade. It's very common to get armor before getting ground attack when you're going up against a Bio Terran. He's getting charge lots, charge for Zealots as well. And it looks like Keen.MvP might be looking to take his third base over at the top left expansion, taking out these destructible rocks. But good heads-up play by HuK, checking for that. He has an observer here as well. So he is able to prepare for this quite effectively. Where are the force fields? Guardian shield going up. He's going to be using these stalkers to kill the Vikings. There's still 1 Colossus left. These Zealots, you know, doing some damage, but these Marauders able to kite quite effectively. And it looks like HuK just going to barely have enough to hold this, and Keen is going to get forced back. There's just too much Protoss stuff at the natural expansion, and unfortunately for Keen, he is not able to penetrate, for lack of a better word, this area. Third base now up and running. No probes here yet. We're going to see the Maynard, as we have exactly 14 probes Maynarding over to the third. Are they going to get spotted? Yeah, it looks like with this SCV, Keen.MvP, this is what really separates these pro players, are the timings. Oh, and those stalkers just walk right by the SCV. But these pro players know timings for everything. StarCraft is all about timing, and geez, I could talk about it for an hour. But having this SCV spot the third base and the Maynarding probes, this is going to prompt Keen to do something. He's got to either take a third of his own, or he's got to go for an all-in. That's basically it. He's slowly getting mined out. His natural, about 2/3 mined out, and his main almost completely mined out. Great map control from HuK, though, putting these pylons down here. Going to spot when and if Keen wants to take this bottom expansion. HuK has the Xel'Naga watchtower in the middle, and man, I can't stress it enough. Map control is a resource in this game. It is absolutely important, and when we can see the blue control compared to the red control, certainly favoring HuK. And this is an interesting attack here, as +2 armor is nearly complete, but he didn't actually wait for it. He's got blink though, and that certainly allows him to poke and prod wherever he wants. These Marine Marauders are not going to be able to chase down blinking stalkers. Only 3 Colossi out, and we noticed that in the last PvT that I casted of HuK, he doesn't actually go Colossi heavy. He usually does Colossus in the mid-game, forcing a lot of Vikings, and then switches out of Colossi, and we can see that he's getting a Templar Archives as well over here. And continuing just to push, he did lose 1 Stalker there, just poking and poking, and HuK is looking to be in a better and better position as time moves on. We're going to have an all-in from Keen. He's not getting another command center. Keen is just going to build up as large an army as possible. Going to take out that observer. Keen is going to just get as much bio out as he can, and he is going to attack the main. I'm sure he's going to go for the heart of HuK here. Now, the Templar Archives complete. No Psy Storm being researched, and I don't think he has any Templars out either. No, definitely not. He's got Immortals. He hasn't been building any more Colossi. Okay, I guess I lied about that. He does have 2 High Templar, just sort of banking some energy. But he doesn't have any Psy Storm, so he could only use Templar to do some feedbacking. Or, yeah. And that SCV gets absolutely incinerated by the Colossi. And this is going to be it, guys. This is the big exchange, and HuK knows it's coming. He's going to fall back and just position his units ideally. I want to see... Okay, we got to take this away. Let's get rid of all the tabs. This is going to be it, the big showdown. The Stalkers may or may not focus down the Vikings. We're going to have to wait and see. Are they going to blink in? The Charge Lot's charging in. The Stalkers blink. The 2 High Templar morphed into an Archon. Some nice force fields, but still a lot of these Marine Marauders doing so much damage. The Colossi have been taken out. And is HuK going to be able to hold this? He's going to delay. He's put down 5 force fields, cutting down this choke point. And look at these Vikings landing on the high ground. I see more and more Terran players landing their Vikings. I want to keep an eye on the minimap just so we're not missing anything else. But this is too close to call. Exactly dead even supply counts right now. The Marine Marauders really in the deep red and orange, though. There's not enough healing going on from these medevacs. They're all out of energy. And although these Vikings are also pulling their weight, it's really close. HuK falling behind in supply, but HuK has got the economy. He's got this 3rd base up, and he's able to reinforce. Of course, warping in more and more units. I think HuK is going to be able to hold this. I mean, reinforcing with as many Marines as Keen can. Oh, is he not going to have enough to hold it? This is so tight. 82 supply for HuK, 73 supply for Keen. Keen rallying in more Marines. +1 attack for HuK is not complete, though. And that's it. Keen calls GG. That was a nail biter going down, right down to the wire. I really hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. I was very pleasantly surprised with it, and certainly not surprised that it was one of the most viewed and downloaded off of SC2 Rep. So I hope you guys like this game. I'm going to be casting more for sure. I do want to mention, just before I sign off, that if you do enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe. YouTube.com/HunterStarcraft, of course. And I will also just plug my Twitter. I'm trying to use Twitter a lot more. So if you guys want to help me out and support my efforts, you can follow me at HunterStarcraft on Twitter. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Until next time. Peace out.